everyone. Okay, so we were doing the chapter number 5, and we have completed our chapter number 5 when people rebel 1857 and after. And now we are heading towards the next chapter, that is colonialism and the city, the story of an imperial capital. Okay, so basically, in this chapter, we are going to learn about we have learned about till now about the condition about the colonization over villages or over countryside, but now we are going to learn about what was happening in the cities at that time. Okay, India was also having cities, and what was happening in the cities while uh, under colonialism. Okay, now, so the first thing here it tells what happened to cities under colonial rule. So basically, we have learned about countryside. It's time to cities. Now, if we will talk about the colonialism over cities, that will differ city to city. Okay, because every city has its own significance at that time on some basis, and for that significance, the trade, the employment opportunities, everything was different in that city, in that particular city. So that is why the colonialism will be also different in that particular city. Okay, but in the countryside, it did not differ, it did not vary, because in the countryside, the main and a very common occupation was agriculture, farming. So this was a very common thing, and the maximum people used to do this. But it was not as same as cities, as in cities. Okay, all right. So here it is telling about that. Yeah, we are talking about. I told you about that cities have their own importance. So for what were the examples of these cities? So here it is telling about Madurai. So Madurai was also a city in India at that time, and it was a city which was famous for its town temple, and all the occupations were relating to the temple thing, like for example garland making, so that they could make a garland mala, or you can say garland necklace for the god, for worshipping, or you can say the things that we used to do keep in our plate when we go to temples to worship the god, right? So those things were being traded in Madurai because it was famous for the temple purposes. Now, if we will come to Dhaka or Surat, so in Dhaka things will be different. Okay, Dhaka first, where was Dhaka? Dhaka was is now the current capital of Bangladesh, but before independence, Bangladesh was in India. Okay, and also Surat, which is a very important trading center in Gujarat. So both of them has their different. They were doing some different things. For example, manufacturing. If you remember, in the last year we learned about Surat, the zari work which used to be happen in Surat. Okay, so that zari work, that was manufacturing. Was an example of manufacturing. So manufacturing was an important thing, occupation in Dhaka and Surat. So on the basis of manufacturing, their occupations will be different if we'll compare it to Madurai. Okay, all right. So these were the examples. Now, here it is telling about, in the next paragraph, it is very simple, that the Western Europe was developing more rapidly compared to India. Western Europe consists of Britain, okay? So Britain was developing more rapidly if we compare it to India, because there was more they were developing so rapidly as they were improving their employment opportunities. They were housing people, providing different facilities to the people, so that in this way they were developing. But India was not. Why? So this why. So the question, the why, the answer of this question will be included in this chapter, and we have to find it after reading this whole chapter. Okay, and the second thing here it is telling about that in Britain there were two main industrial cities at that time, that were Leeds and Manchester. Here if you see, Leeds and Manchester, these were the two main cities in Britain at that time. Okay, these were the two main cities, industrial cities. Okay, now, the next paragraph comes here, that in the late 18th century. So, basically, we are going to get to know about the presidencies. So, what were the presidencies? Presidencies, here it is a define of presidencies. For administrative purpose, colonial India divided into three presidencies. Means colonial India divided itself into three places so that they can do their administrative functions over that places. And these three presidencies were what? These three presidencies were Calcutta, Bombay, Madras. And their current names are Calcutta, Kolkata, Bombay, Mumbai, Madras, Chennai. Okay, they rose in importance and they actually had their own significance. But in spite of that, Britishers added to their significance. Okay, and now as they have become the presidencies, means the centers of British power, so they increased, so their importance increased, and they decreased the importance of other trading cities or other cities like Madurai, which were high on trade compared to Mumbai or Bombay, Madras, Calcutta. Okay, so basically this simply wrecked out old trading centers. Okay, for example, Machilipatnam, Surat, Seringapatnam, these are the examples. Now here you see in the image in the last page, I just forgot to tell about the image. It is Machilipatnam of 1672, of 1672. See how old image it is. And it is a view of Machilipatnam. It was a trading city, basically a shipping city, or a port. Machilipatnam was an important port town, means which was having a port, and from there they can ship all through over the city, or over the seas. So this made it important, and it was really a very good trading city. Okay, now in come towards the come again towards the paragraph. So the next thing here, it is telling about deurbanization, which is a very important term. So for deurbanization, we should know about urbanization. Of course, the opposite of urbanization will be deurbanization. So here, urbanization, the process by which more and more people begin to reside in towns and cities. Basically, if maximum people of a country will move to the cities and leave villages, that will be called as urbanization. But if maximum of people of a country will move to villages in spite of cities, then that will be called deurbanization. Okay, so as the old trading city centers were wrecking out, means their importance was going down. So as their importance were going down, so their factories were not there, as Britishers shifted the trade from these old trading centers to the presidencies. So as they shifted the trade, the numbers of factories reduced, and as the number of factories reduced, number of employment opportunities also reduced, and as that reduced, then people were not getting employment, and as they were not getting employment, they went back to their villages so that they could earn a little livelihood for their families. Okay, because if they don't have any land in the cities, they just came to survive in the city anyhow so that they could get more facilities in spite of villages. But if they are not even getting a bread in the city because they have lost their employment, or you can say occupation, so they will again go back to their villages. Okay, so in this way, deurbanization was happening, and the examples of deurbanization are mentioned here: Machilipatnam, Surat, Seringapatnam. These were the cities. Now, in the last line, is telling about 11% of Indians living in the cities in 20th century. Okay, so basically, only 89% of Indians were living in the countryside, in the villages in 20th century. In the next paragraph, it is telling about Delhi. Okay, so basically it is telling about giving a short introduction of Delhi. Delhi became a provincial city when Britishers came. And uh, what is the definition of provincial city? City under British government. Okay, and but it got its significance after 1912, as Britishers made Delhi as the capital of British India after 1912. Remember the year 1912. Okay, and here is another figure. Here, if you see Bombay port in the 18th century, it is a view of Bombay port. Okay, it also got employment, employment opportunities, and also got rich compared to other cities. So this was all. I hope you really like it, and if you got any doubts, please mention in the comment section. I'll answer to all of your doubts. Thank you. Have a good day.